Madison, and today we are going to draw Mer Cat. First, we'll need a black marker and a piece of paper and some colorings. So first, we will start drawing by her ears. So start with one slanted line and then one on the other side. Then you make a little cross and go around and all the way to the end of the triangle. Put another triangle on the other side, the same way as the other. Next, and then put your other triangle in the middle of your other triangle. Both sides. Next, we'll start with her star on her forehead. It's okay if you mess up. Next, you do a little bump, a bump, and a bump. Do some scales so we can color in the scales after. It's okay if you make a little mistake with them, but just keep trying. And then what I would do, I would put some bumps on the top where I couldn't get any. Next step, we will put the eyes on. Make a little round shape like the eye, like the head. Put 3 eyelashes on there, both sides. Color in a big pimple in there. Make a little dot from the side. Next, you do the same thing with the other side. Next, we'll make a little tiny heart for Mer Cat's nose. Next, make a little whisker. Next, make a little face on the bottom of that. Make a little tongue. It will look like a half part of the heart. Next, make a little cheeks above the eyes. Next, draw the body. The body is the hardest, but try your best. Next, she can't swim without her arms, so let's add some arms to her. And some arms will go up, like that. Next, you want to try and draw a little this. And then draw some dots on the top. Same with the other side. Next, draw a little bump up top, and then keep doing the bumps. The side is a little bit harder, but let's try our best. But if you had some more room for your other bumps, then keep on doing them. Pause the video if we're going too fast. When we're coloring, we might fast forward. Or when we're doing some things that take us a long time. make some boops up here. And make some boops. Boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Next, make some more boops. There, our tail is done. Now, put some boops on the top where we didn't boop. Next, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna draw some bubbles around her. There's gonna be one, this mag that line going through her hand, and out of her hand. And there, and then we'll draw some tiny bubbles too. We'll do some up here, and imagine that line going through, and there. You can add more bubbles if you want later. Imagine that line, and connect. Now what we can do is color it in. We will need a bunch of colors. Just follow the video, and for this part, we might fast forward.
What color are you using?
For the first color, we are using purple. Don't do purple on all the scales because we will add different kinds of colors on to Mer Cat. You can put some on the tail too. And don't forget to put some on the forehead too, because the forehead also has some purple. Next color, we are using some teal green. If you cannot find teal green, then that is okay. You should just use some normal green. Fill in some holes in the forehead, body, and tail. Don't fill them all in, but if you did, that's okay. But the tail has more colors than the forehead. So next color, what we'll need is some blue. You can use light blue or dark blue. I'm going to use some dark blue because it shows. But if your area on the forehead is all filled up, then that is okay. You can make more room, or you can add more bumps if you made your forehead a little bit more bigger than mine. But make sure to color in the whole entire thing. Next color what we're using is a sparkly. If you can't find any, then that's okay. Let's move on to her forehead. From her head to her head. Next, we will use some dark green, and then we'll use some light green. Let's use that dark green inside of her ears. get the outside with green with that dark green, because that dark green will not match her whole body. The light green will. Next, we are going to fill in her face. Don't fill in her cheeks yet, but just color her face first. Don't get any in the star, but if you do, that's okay. But for the star, we are going to use pink. But don't move on to that until you're done with your face and body, if there was more. But first, before we move on, we gotta finish. And be careful to not get any in the heart, because that heart is gonna be a different color. But the ears, the outside of the ears are the same color as the body. If you want, you can color it inside of your forehead. But if you didn't color in all of your tail, you can color in the rest later. Or just pause the video if you want to color in the rest. The face is done, let's move on to the paws. If you are still working on your head of Mer Cat, then that is okay. You can pause the video. Next, we will move on to the ears. So let's use this color in the whole entire star. That's okay if you get some on the head. Then we will color in the rest. Then we will use a black marker and a blue marker. We'll use any kind of blue, but it has to be a dark blue because her bottom of her eye is a little blue. She used that only color on her eyes. But the rest, it will be black. But don't color in that little dot because that is her little eye. There. You can go back and fill in the other spots after the video. Once you're all done, go back and find a different color. Use a little pink color, a little kind of this color. So we will use this kind of color, but that will go onto the heart. There. And don't forget to put it on the tongue. Next, we will also use black because the inside of her mouth will be black. There. Our Mer Cat is almost done. Next, we'll use a little tiny peachy kind and color in the little cheeks. And don't forget to use that for the paws. And if you already colored in the paws with the green, that is okay. Next, we will use blue, red, purple, and pink for the bubbles. First bubble, we will start with the big bubble. That bubble will need a little bit of red on the side. Next, we'll use some green on the bottom. A little bit. We'll use a little bit of that green. Next, we will use that little tiny green will be used for the face. We'll put that color on the top. Make a little bubble with it. Next, we will use some blue. Right on the side. You can use whatever color blue but you want. I am using a dark blue. Next, we will need some mixed purple with some green. So make sure you blend that in with it. You can color in the rest of your bubble with the purple. There, that bubble is done. Now you can just copy that bubble.
You want to show us real quick? Hold it up.
But first when we move on, we will show. Now, let's do the rest of the bubbles. Now what we'll do is copy it.
Tell me about the chocolate matrix.
Now let's keep on copying the bubble. There. You can use more than you did last time, but I didn't. I'm going to use more purple in the middle, some dark green, some light green next, and then the last color will be blue. I have to get that blue back again. Now where did I put that blue? I found a different color blue, but I couldn't find the other one, so I'm going to use this color. It's kind of the same, but a different. Now I'm not going to put this one back.
Maddie, you want to say hi to people in a second?
Yeah. Hi. And if your bubble is too small, then just color it all red.
Do you want to tell them what you're drawing today?
I already told them.
On this one.
Oh. And also, so if you forgot, that we are drawing Mer Cat. Come on. Go on with the bubble. Next, you will use purple. Don't put the purple back. Next, we will use that green. That skin color will be used for Mer Cat's face and arms. Next, we'll use the little green. Next, we'll use the blue. But if you wanted, you could just color a little bit of blue and add a little bit of pink if you wanted. So you can have a colorful bubble. For the rest of the bubbles, let's use a wall of red, a lot of that teal color. A lot of that purple because this is a big bubble. And next, that dark lot of green. That dark green. Next, we will do the dark blue. And we'll color in a little bit of that color. And I'll add some pink. You don't have to add pink if you want, but if you want it, then you can. Then just color in. If you have been, then if you have been coloring in the whole bubble with red, then that is okay. Our bubbles can be different than each other's. Next, we'll use the light green for the face that we did, and then that purple in the middle. So this time, let's use some pink first before the blue. Next, we'll use the blue. Let's show before we do the last little bit of bubbles. Next, we'll move on to the rest of the bubbles. Color in the one near the ear, the left ear. Next, we'll use the purple. Next, we'll use that green, the light green. And then the dark green at the bottom, but we won't be able to show all of it. This is a big green. I'm going to switch a different green. I found a different green for us to use. Now let's use the pink. There. Now the blue. I'm using markers. If you don't have markers, then you can use crayons or colored pencils. If you do have markers, or if you don't want to use markers, then you can use different colors. Next bubble. Green. I made a little kind of shape of the pink. Next, I'll use the blue. There, bubble is done. We have 2 more bubbles to do. For this one, I'm gonna let you guys do whatever colors you want. For this one, I'm gonna use the pink, the purple, the blue, and the green, and a couple new ones in the box. I'll use this one, and the orange. These are the colors I'm using. First color is pink. These bubbles are going to be different than all of them. For the first color, I'm using the pink on the side like the red. Instead of red, it will be pink. Now we are going to put some blue the middle. Instead of purple, blue. Next, with this cool purple, we are going to use that one for the little outlining for that. We'll use it as the bottom of the green. Next, we will use the orange on top of the purple. Then we'll use this marker. I don't know what color it is, but we're going to use it for the top, just like the weird green. Next, we are going to use that dark purple for the top. There. Now what I'm going to do for the last bubble is this. I'm going to color in a lot of pink into that bubble. And then what I'm going to do is add some of that weird color. And then that green and blue. But we are going to mix it. So we're going to use both at the same time. So let's put those colors together. And this one is going to be so cool. It's like it's just like Seahawks. Blue and green make Seahawks colors. And done. If you wanted, you can add more details. So before we are done, we are going to add a little bit more to our picture. And for that, we are going to need some black for the outline. So next, we're going to use some waves. But if we're going through the bubbles, don't actually go through them. You just pretend to. Like imagine that line. Imagine the line going through the head and in. Imagine it through it. Imagine it through it. Imagine it through it. Go imagine it. Go imagine it. Go and done. Next, we'll use the other one. Imagine it. Keep going. Imagine it. Okay, let's go under the tail this time. Next, we'll keep on going. Keep on going. You're almost there. Next, we will use some blue. And we can go all over it because water is always blue. But if you wanted to make it a little bit yucky, you can do some green. Because in the water, there is sometimes some green to make it a little yucky. Just like kind of like lakes. And almost there. I'm going to add some green to mine. So I'm not going to use blue all over mine. If I leave some holes for my green, then that is okay if you did that too. Just don't recolor that area. You just leave it for the green, okay? Next, we'll keep on coloring. Now it looks like I can add so much green. So let's add into that green because it'll be slimy. There, and green. So also Mer Cat likes doing science with friends and Gabby. And Pandy, so we have a little bit green in the area where there wasn't room for some green, but that is okay. If you wanted, you can go back to the tail, but don't color in the rest of the eyes. And we're done. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to like and ring and subscribe and ring that bell down below. Now.